Hi, I'm glad you're here. Are you Dan Eaton? You got one of them little dookies under your lip like what do you call that?
That's a soul patch.
A what?
Soul patch.
Soul patch. What are we cooking today?
What was it you said? Sardine casserole?
And a beanie weenie stew.
And a beanie weenie stew.
Today is my birthday, December 21st, 2015. And I'm 60 damn years old today. And I feel it and I look at it. But we're in the woods. Hunted this morning before daylight. We ain't seen nothing but an ass load of squirrels. But I came over here, and this is what I call the hickory nut stand. And I got a little story about this. The steps are still there. You can see John got his hand on them. And you can see the steps. I put that stand up there, and of course the stand's gone. I put that in there, I know 20 years ago. And these woods have changed so much in 20 years. But this story, I was hunting by myself. And this was about, I've been here a couple of hours maybe. It was a cold gray day like today. And I got bored. I said, I'm going home, watch northern exposures. And I had lowered, I was bow hunting, and I lowered my bow down all the way. And then I turned to face the tree to come down, and I looked, and there's a little pine patch over there behind me. And I saw this buck coming from left to right. He wasn't running, he was just walking, ambling along. I said, oh man. And he was not far from me, but it's awful thick in there. But I eased back into that stand, and I pulled my bow back up. And he ambled on this way and went out of sight. Man. So I was just sitting there, and it's about 5 o'clock. And the woods weren't so nasty back then before they clear cut it and ruined it. But I saw this buck coming down that way across that creek. He came and he come across that creek and was coming up the hill. And right about over there, when I was coming in, I broke the cardinal rule of deer hunting. You don't wear leather boots and you don't pee in the woods. Well, I stopped and peed right there. Had to go before I got in my tree. But I carry pee bottles now. But anyway, that buck, he's a good size. He's an 8-pointer. He come walking up that hill and he stopped right there where I peed, and he put his head down to smell it. And I stood up and I drew, and I was shooting a recurve, a 55-pound bear recurve. And I hit him right behind the shoulder. And all the arrows sunk into him, maybe about the last 8 inches, 10 inches or so. And he took off and he ran up that way. I hear the arrow hitting the little trees, limbs. Oh, my heart was racing. And I heard him crash. And I heard him stir a little bit, and it got kind of quiet. And then an amazing thing happened. You know what happened?
It started to snow.
You heard this story. It started to snow. I mean, it's just something out of a Field of String magazine or something, Sports of Field, but it started to snow. Back then, this is my ancient history. Back then I had a wife and some boys, some sons. I don't have them now, but back then I did. I called my ex-wife, my wife back then, told her to bring the boys down to a certain spot. I need them to help me track and get a deer out of the woods. And she did, and by the time I went out and got them, brought them back in here, there was a good dusting of snow on the ground, and I was afraid I was going to lose that blood trail. And I was following, hanging toilet paper in the trees, limbs. And I traced that deer, followed it all the way back that way. There's another creek. He made it to that other creek and got in the creek. And I still got his head. But that's an amazing story. The tree stand's still gone, but the tree's here, and them old steps. These old homemade steps are still here. It'd be hard to get them boogers out of there. Reminiscing. Good hunt, good hunt. But they butchered these woods. All right, time to go.